Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're completely throwing out that outdated pill for every ill playbook. Instead, we're diving straight into a massive medical mystery, how targeted supplementation can literally rescue our failing cellular health. We're getting down to the microscopic level here. No guesswork, just exactly what our cells are begging for to thrive. We call this Metabolomics Made Simple. It's all about treating supplements not as optional extras, but as the absolute essential raw code we need to reboot our biological engines.
So let's look at this incredible modern health paradox. Why on earth are we living longer but getting sicker? I mean, sure, thanks to emergency medicine and hygiene, our lifespans are up. But at the exact same time, chronic fatigue, constant inflammation, and autoimmune flare-ups are just exploding. And you know what's incredibly frustrating? You go to the doctor, you're exhausted, achy, totally brain-fogged, and they look at your routine labs and say, hey, you're totally normal. But here's the catch. Standard metabolic panels look for late-stage disease, not cellular starvation. So you're told you're fine while your body is practically screaming that its machinery is breaking down.
Just to wrap our heads around the sheer scale of this, 50 million. That's 50 million people in the US alone currently dealing with autoimmune diseases. That is a staggering number, and it's climbing fast, especially in younger people. And no, our DNA didn't just suddenly mutate overnight. This points squarely at our modern metabolic workload. Think about it. Constant blue light, sitting at desks all day, and this non-stop drip of stress hormones. Our ancient immune systems are literally drowning in modern stimuli, forced to work in absolute overdrive 24/7.
Which brings us to Section 1, the hidden hunger crisis.
Okay, so what exactly is hidden hunger? Well, it's this crazy state where you might be totally overfed in terms of calories, but on a biochemical level, your body is completely starved of the raw code it needs to run. You can eat a ton of food, feel totally full, but if it's highly processed, it's nutritionally bankrupt. And why do standard blood tests miss this? One word: homeostasis. Your blood is your body's ultimate VIP. Your body will literally cannibalize its own tissues, pulling magnesium from your muscles, leaching calcium from your bones, just to keep your blood serum levels perfectly stable. So by the time a blood test actually catches a deficiency, your cells have probably been starving for years.
And even if you're really trying to eat whole foods, there's a huge breakdown at the source. Intensive modern farming has absolutely devastated our soil. We rely on aggressive monocropping and synthetic fertilizers to make plants grow super fast and look perfectly plump on store shelves. But they're growing in dead dirt stripped of the 92 essential minerals needed to build resilient life. The food we eat today is quite literally a shadow of what it was a century ago. You could eat huge, supposedly fresh salads every single day and still completely miss the actual vitamins your biology expects.
In fact, we call this the 1/12 nutrients concept. It represents a shocking 90% loss of critical minerals and vitamins in our food supply. Let that biological reality sink in for a second. You would literally have to sit down and eat 12 bowls of modern spinach to get the exact same mineral density, like iron or copper, that your grandparents got from just one single bowl. Our metabolic engines are desperately trying to run on fumes, and that directly leads to the systemic cellular breakdown we experience as chronic disease.
All right, let's move right into Section 2, our toxic daily environment.
Because nutrient bankruptcy, that's really only half the battle. The other half of the metabolic workload is the massive toxic burden pushing our immune systems over the edge. Every single day, our bodies face a barrage of over 80,000 industrial toxins. We're talking chemicals in our water, air pollutants, heavy metals, food additives. Now, your liver is an amazing detox engine, but it needs highly specific nutrients, like B vitamins, to actually bind to and clear those toxins out. But remember what we just talked about? We are completely depleted of those exact nutrients. So, without the raw materials to process this onslaught, the toxins pile up, the biochemical pathways jam, and your immune system just starts attacking everything in sight.
So how do we fix this? Let's dive into Section 3, Metabolomics Made Simple. If there is one massive takeaway from this explainer, it's this. We need precision tools, not pills. We have got to completely stop thinking of supplements as these optional little add-ons or synthetic band-aids just meant to mask a symptom. No, they are the exact missing biological code required to jumpstart stalled enzymatic engines inside your cells. Because our food supply is fundamentally broken and our toxic load is off the charts, targeted supplementation isn't a luxury anymore. It's an absolute biological necessity to fix those biochemical bottlenecks.
Let's actually walk through some of this exact raw code your body is begging for. First up, a high-quality multivitamin. We're talking the purest, highly bioavailable forms to give you a broad baseline.
basically replacing what the topsoil has lost. Next, magnesium. This is your biological spark plug. It's physically required for over 600 different cellular reactions, especially making your cellular energy. Without it, your metabolic engine simply seizes up. Then omega-3 fatty acids. The modern diet pushes our omega-6 to omega-3 ratio to a highly inflammatory 15:1. Since our cell walls are built from the fats we eat, way too much omega-6 makes those cells rigid and inflamed. High-quality omega-3s fix that ratio and crush systemic inflammation. And finally, the ultimate power duo, vitamin D3 and K2. D3 is crucial for regulating your immune system, but you absolutely need K2 as the traffic cop. K2 ensures that calcium goes straight to fortifying your bones instead of dangerously calcifying your arteries.
And to really bulletproof the system, we add in some highly targeted supporting actors. Vitamin C and zinc are an incredible team. They shield the cell wall and drastically sharpen your immune system so it actually knows the difference between a real external virus and your own internal tissue. Meanwhile, B-complex vitamins and CoQ10 serve as the direct fuel lines for your mitochondria. Think back to that chronic fatigue we talked about at the very beginning. If you're sleeping 8 hours a night but still waking up totally exhausted, it's frequently because your mitochondria physically cannot make energy without enough CoQ10 and B vitamins. You're not just tired, your cellular energy pathways are physically jammed.
So you see, resolving chronic illness really isn't a game of guesswork. True health is basically a biochemical math equation. It comes down to drastically lowering your toxic workload while simultaneously ramping up your precise nutrient inputs. That's the magic of metabolomics. It shows us that true healing is just about clearing out those biochemical bottlenecks by handing the body the exact small molecules it needs to repair tissue, pump out boundless energy, and get the immune system back on track.
So as we wrap this up, before you just accept that feeling perpetually tired, achy, and brain-fogged is a normal part of getting older or surviving modern life, take a really hard look at your cellular engine. Ask yourself, are you just medicating a symptom, or are you actually starving a system? What specific piece of raw code is standing between you and vibrant health? It's time to stop guessing. Start treating your nutrition as targeted science and give your biology the precision tools it actually needs to thrive. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and I'll catch you next time.